Video game sequels are some of the most exciting but risky endeavors. You have to satisfy the fan base of the first game while keeping the gameplay fresh and updated. But how many sequels completely write off the main character from the first game? Not many. It's a bold move and one that could destroy a franchise before it even becomes one. Onimusha 2 was eager to build off the success of the first game, but it erased Samanosuke, the main character of the original. Would this striking move cause confusion, or would it create one of the best timeless classics on the PS2? When Onimusha 2 was announced, I was so stoked. As a kid, I had the first Onimusha, and I put so many hours into that game. And while I never beat that game as a kid, I was very excited to get my hands on the sequel of Onimusha 2. I was stoked to go back into feudal Japan and take on more zombies as a samurai. Now, if you haven't yet, I did review the first Onimusha on my channel last week, so if you haven't, make sure you check that video out. But if you love the Onimusha series, I'm going to be reviewing all of them on my channel in the next couple of weeks, including Onimusha Tactics and Blade Warriors. So make sure you hit that sub button, as well as checking out all of the other game reviews that I have on this channel. Now, Onimusha 2 did a really bold thing. It got rid of the main protagonist, that was Samanosuke, and replaced him with Jubei. So how does that all work, and is Onimusha 2 better than the first game? That's a tall order because I adore the first game. But let's get this Onimusha 2 review started. Gamers couldn't get enough of demons, undead, and samurai with the Capcom hit Onimusha on the PlayStation 2 in 2001. Just a year later, in 2002, Capcom followed it up with a sequel titled Onimusha 2: Samurai's Destiny for the PS2. The sequel would feature a different main character and take place 10 years after the first game. Would this strange mix of ancient Japan and demons work again in Onimusha 2? Let's take a look at the plot, but be warned, spoilers are ahead. Hey, remember our good pal Samanosuke from the first Onimusha? Well, he is not in this game. After Samanosuke defeated the Demon King Fortinbras, he's been MIA. It's been over 10 years and nobody can seem to find him. Now, while Fortinbras was killed, Nobunaga, who was also from the first game and was the once feared leader of a Japanese army, has now officially risen to power in the demon ranks. Nobunaga was killed in the opening video of the first game, but the demons resurrected him to do their bidding. He's taking full command of their armies and has set fire to any resistance. In Onimusha 2, Nobunaga's army destroys Yagu village, killing everyone from the small town except Jubei. He's the clan's samurai who actually wasn't there when the army attacked. How convenient. But now Jubei is set on revenge against Nobunaga. As he looks over the wreckage of his village, he hears his name called out by a mysterious voice. He runs to it, discovering a wooden cabin that houses a female demon that informs Jubei that she is his real mother. She tells Jubei the only way to defeat Nobunaga is to reunite the 5 orbs that were crafted to protect the humans from demons. So with that little tidbit of information, Jubei sets out on an adventure to collect the 5 orbs. During his quest for the orbs, Jubei meets 4 other warriors, each with their own intentions. Now, if I say their names wrong, I'm sorry, but I don't properly speak Japanese, but I'll do my best. Iki is a fat man that fights with a spear. He loves women and drinking. He wants to become a feudal lord and joins Jubei in his quest. Magoichi is a master with guns. Keep in mind that the guns in Onimusha 2 are not like they are today, but they are matchlock guns. This gunmaster plans on killing Nobunaga out of fear that his village will fall next. Kotaro is a ninja who is abandoned as a child by his mother, and he wants to help Jubei defeat Nobunaga and uncover the mystery behind the 4th companion that Jubei finds. This 4th companion is a cute warrior named Oyu. She's on a mysterious quest of her own, and it turns out that she is Nobunaga's sister, and she has intentions of stopping him. Jubei and his companions do indeed go around collecting the 5 orbs, and they use them to defeat Nobunaga, but they are unable to kill him due to the lack of the Oni gauntlet that is required to kill Nobunaga. Where would an Oni gauntlet be? Where's Samanosuke? So that's pretty much the gist of Onimusha 2, but I did want to point out something that I thought was a little bit unnecessary. Jubei and Oyu develop feelings for each other during the game, which I just felt like it wasn't needed. The game was tremendous already, and it didn't need to force a love interest between those 2 characters. And in the end, Jubei is on his horse overlooking a tower that Oyu is in as she watches from afar. Now, normally I'm all for romances, but I'm nitpicking a little. I just didn't think this was necessary. Gamers, I ranted to you in the first review of Onimusha about how epic that intro video was, how cinematic it was, how I used to have watch parties with my classmates after school. Well, guess what? Onimusha 2 has a fantastic intro video. And also, I'm gonna make you watch this one too. Here it comes. Gosh, that Onimusha series sure does know how to hype you up before you play their games. Now let's dissect this video just a little bit. The video introduces all the characters that you'll be able to interact with along with their personalities. In this video, OU is seen taking a shower under a waterfall. Now, when I was in 7th grade, all my buddies would gather around to watch the opening scenes of Onimusha 2, and we all ogled at the side boob that is shown. When you were in 7th grade, side boob is everything. Actually, you know what? I still love side boob. Some things never change. And some things do. Capcom, what are you doing censoring the remastered version of Onimusha 2 and the shower scene? Pathetic. Anyway, let's get back to the PS2 version of Onimusha 2. I noticed that the sound effects were a lot more creepy and well done during my playthrough of Onimusha 2. Now there is a horror element to these games, and the atmospheres are tremendous for both Onimusha 1 and 2. But I noticed that there were greater details in the smaller details. For instance, the sounds of Jubei's footsteps changing when he's on wooden floors, grass, or concrete. These things go a long way to me. At the beginning of Onimusha 2, there was a city where you can explore and chat with the locals as you build up your strength and knowledge of the game. I loved this city. It was bustling with tons of villagers that you can talk to and hear their complaints about everyday life. It felt like a real town, and I pictured myself in a small Japanese town in the 1500s. There's even a town hooker that keeps trying to seduce you. You can't bang her. I tried. Onimusha 2 offers many more personalities than the first game. There's also humor in this game, and it's good humor too. Characters crack jokes and they find themselves in awkward positions, and it shows a different side to the Onimusha universe. In Onimusha 1, the game was much more serious. Onimusha 2 gets down to business, but it does have some comic relief from the side characters. A new change in the gameplay is the gift system. Jubei can find gifts and give them to his companions to make them like him better. This determines who comes to your side in battles and opens up new scenarios and side stories. I loved the gift system, and giving gifts always ends in funny reactions from the recipients. The gifts will range from anything from a frog, sake, a globe, a flower, and even mushrooms that make the user hallucinate. Each companion will act differently toward gifts, and each gift has a rating system from A to D on the reaction scale. An A reaction makes the character like you the most, while a D barely moves the friendship bar. Usually my D is great for friendship. All right, I'll stop. When I finished the game, I thought I played almost every scenario with all of the companions. But at the end, it shows you your stats, and I only completed 52% of the scenarios. Jeez, there is plenty of replayability in Onimusha 2. Getting down to the combat of the game, you will be doing a lot of hacking and slashing hundreds of demons throughout your quest, and Onimusha 2 expands upon the weapons and the combos. You'll learn secret moves for each weapon by discovering hidden books on them. The 3 swords from the first game return, and there's also a new huge hammer. Now, just like the first game, you'll be able to power them up by collecting the souls of the enemies that you defeat. You don't have an Oni gauntlet, but something similar. Another thing that's new with Onimusha 2 is collecting these special orbs. If you collect 5 of them, Jubei will automatically transform into a powerful Oni warrior. In this phase, you're pretty much invincible. You will wreak havoc on all of the opponents on the screen. It was pretty cool, but I didn't like the fact that Jubei automatically transforms. It would have been nice to be able to hold onto those orbs and use that transformation when it was most beneficial to you. It's a good thing they correct that in Onimusha 3. Now, back to the gameplay. Something I found even better this time around are the boss battles. These boss battles are a lot tougher than the first game, and I found myself having to use more magic attacks to defeat the bosses. Most bosses have an attitude too. There's this hideous fat demon woman who thinks she is just so hot with her umbrella and high heels. I loved fighting the bosses as they almost became likable, and I was sorry to see them go. One of the best examples of both boss fights and humor in Onimusha 2 is during a fight against the expert demon swordsman, Gogendantis. He keeps bragging about himself, and Jubei just interrupts and says, "Can we just get on with this?"
My name is Gogendantis, the greatest swordsman of all demons.
Can we get on with this?
One of the issues that I did have with Onimusha 2 was there was some slowdown on the screen when there were too many enemies. I was kind of surprised by this performance, but it did happen to me. Let's talk about the final fight against Nobunaga. This is the fight that I was hoping for in the first game. When you fight Nobunaga, he turns into a flying armored demon king as you guys battle in the throne room. It was awesome, but that was just the first phase. He then transforms into a giant walking machine of armor, and Jubei counters by transforming with the 5 orbs into some supernatural Oni. Now, to be honest, the second phase of Nobunaga kind of felt stupid, and I didn't feel like it was needed. Sometimes boss fights don't necessarily need a bunch of different phases. The first phase of Nobunaga was awesome, but the second phase, it felt a little bit lame. And while I'm ripping on the boss fight, I might as well rip the ending just a little bit. When the game concludes, I was expecting a better cutscene or a wrap-up of the story, but there was very little payoff. The first Onimusha was great. The second one expanded on what made the first game amazing and added some huge enhancements. If you have never played this series, you really need to. Never did I expect the sequel without the main protagonist to score better than the first game, but it's going to. It's that good, and it is another masterpiece. Onimusha 2 scores a 9.6 out of 10. All right, Onimusha fans, it is time for you to be heard. Drop me a comment below on your thoughts of Onimusha 2. Is it the best in the series? For me, I think it could be, but you're gonna have to stay tuned to my channel to catch the other games of Onimusha Tactics, Onimusha Blade Warriors, Onimusha 3, and Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. All of those reviews are dropping shortly. But back to Onimusha 2, what did you think of Gogendantis? What did you think of Nobunaga? Who was your favorite boss fight? And what did you think of that gift system? who did you end up with as your companion? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and of course subscribe to my channel as it really helps me grow. Now finally, if you haven't yet, make sure you check out that Onimusha review that I did previously last week. Gamers, thank you for watching and make sure you play a video game today.